For M, we chose Mad Professor. John's got a rather lot of albums, 13 in total, and also John was very much into his dub. It seemed a good choice.
I had an idea who he was because I had friends who were in the business saying that, yeah, we done a John Peel session or so, but I didn't think it would have extended to me because I was like the left wing. Okay, reggae itself was left wing, and I was left of the left. I'm still running the label, I'm still running Arriva label. I do Mad Professor shows, and I go out there with a miniature version of the studio, which I set up on stage with some effects, and I basically mix and remix records and piss about. Sometimes I sing, sometimes I talk, and you could expect anything.
And that's the Mad Professor remix, or one of several, actually, Mad Professor remixes. And it's always nice to have him on the programme anyway, even in the capacity of remixing.
I guess it all started at home, which would be in Georgetown, Guyana as a little boy. And I said to my mum, what's this man in the radio doing? Some days he's talking, some days he's singing. She said, there's no man in the radio. I said, there is. I hear him every day, and, I want to know more. And she was a nurse, so one day she went to work and I got a screwdriver and went to the back of the radio. Sounds like a geek, I was like more resistors and capacitors and reading circuit diagrams rather than playing cricket. And finally, when I came to England, I got into building mixing desks and dabbling with like 4-track machines, and I taught myself studio techniques. Dub is like the first music of technology. The guy called King Tubby's in Jamaica dabbling with stuff, and then you had characters like Lee Scratch Perry, and dub was the first music where the engineer actually became part of the creator of the music by going into different sound effects that are really their signatures, At that point in 1980, 82, there are no computers in the chain. Everything recorded with real microphones, real musicians, and any tricks you do, you would literally be doing it, in real time. So I made my first album, Dub Me Crazy, which I issued. And I pressed 1,000, got rid of 500. And then I had this call from a guy who said, this is John Peel from Radio 1. I'd like to speak to someone about the record. Yeah, what about it? He said, well, I found this record. How's it doing? I said, oh, very badly. He said, oh, that's fine, because I quite liked it, So he came back to me and said, well, look, would you like to do a session, a John Peel session? So I said, yeah, but John, I'm making dub music. It needs a certain atmosphere, it needs a certain studio. So he said, we would allow you to make a John Peel session in your studio, and it would be one of the first times that we're doing this. I came up with this record, Beyond the Realms of Dub. It went to #1 in the reggae charts. I remember knocking off Gregory Isaacs' Night Nurse for 2 weeks, and I was so chuffed. Yeah, we kept in touch, and he was like well into the next 3 or 4 dub albums as well.
I'm not entirely sure if having something that sounds like a bunch of old washing machine parts being dragged around in a sack named after you is entirely complimentary. That's the Mad Professor and John Peel dub.